everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we're talking about early signs of pregnancy. So it's that 2-week wait. The moment you try attempting conception, you immediately think you're pregnant and you're peeing on sticks. You're peeing on sticks like 100 a day. You know, I think I've peed on my finger thinking it was a stick, peed on a celery stick thinking it was a pregnancy stick. I mean, you're seeing pregnancy sticks everywhere. It's a good thing I didn't see my husband's face as a pregnancy stick, because that would have been really bad if he looked like a pregnancy stick. That could have been foreplay, you know, a little, you know, I won't go into detail, but you know what I'm trying to say. Don't pee on sticks right after trying to conceive. So after this video, you should have a really good idea as to some of the early signs of pregnancy. Let's get started. So let's start out when symptoms start. So UpToDate had a really amazing study on 221 women who are attempting conception. 60% of those women felt early pregnancy signs as early as 5 weeks, but 90% of women felt signs and symptoms at 8 weeks and after that. So one of the first symptoms you might experience is amenorrhea, which means no period. You've missed your period. And that can be a hard one because sometimes you may have an irregular cycle, or you may just often be off by 1 or 2 days, so you're not quite sure and it might not be clear. And on top of it, if you are trying to conceive, you may be a bit stressed and that might affect your cycle. So I always find the missed period one kind of gets me because I think I'm pregnant, you know, I've missed the period, but then it comes like 2 days later. But that is an early sign, missing your period. Also, nausea and nausea without vomiting is another early sign of pregnancy, as well as breast enlargement and tenderness. I don't know why I'm doing this because I'm not out to here. I should kind of be going like this. So breast enlargement and tenderness is another early sign and symptom of pregnancy. Also, increased and frequent urination is another early sign of pregnancy. Lastly, fatigue. That was a big one for me in both my pregnancies. So those are some early signs and symptoms you may be feeling if you are pregnant and it's very early in the early days. Next up is the ultrasound examination. So in that exam, in that scan, roughly between 5 and 6 weeks, the yolk sac will be present in your uterus, and it tends to stay there for probably around 10 weeks. Next is the fetal pulse, as well as cardiac activity, which is the heartbeat, is usually detected between 5.5 and 6 weeks. These findings and these weeks are with transvaginal ultrasound, but if they end up doing an ultrasound over your abdominal region, that might take a little bit longer, for example, to detect the heartbeat, to see the yolk sac. So it depends on what kind of ultrasound. So do not panic if you are not seeing a heartbeat, because they might just have done just a scan over your abdominal region as opposed to inside your vagina, which is called a transvaginal scan. So next up is HCG, and that tends to start circulating within the body after implantation, which is roughly 6 to 12 days after ovulation. Also, the concentration of HCG often peaks between the 8 to 10 week range, but after 10 weeks, it starts going down. So it's really not a good indication in saying anything about the pregnancy after the 10-week mark. Hence why the HCG levels are not a good estimation of gestational age, except between 1 to 3 weeks after conception. So then after that, it starts going down, and that's why it's not really used to estimate the gestational age. And then they move to ultrasounds because that is more accurate. So I hope this video has given a really quick outline as to some of the early signs of pregnancy, and good luck with conceiving. And I'm really hoping that the 2-week wait is easy for you. Distract yourself, find something fun to do, stop peeing on sticks, because that's what people do. They pee on sticks immediately after they've tried to conceive. And as you've seen from this data, it's not going to show up as positive.